So I keep having people ask me, is it possible to make an AI lighting desk, a lighting desk that responds to prompts? So I thought, well, let's have a go and make one. And I have. I've made it in Unreal Engine. So let's have a look. As I load up Unreal Engine, the first thing I get is my prompt command. Now I'm going to start by typing my prompts. Just going to start with something very simple, lights on. Type it in, hit submit. And what it's going to do now is send my command up to the cloud, where it's talking to the Claude API, and it sends back the command and controls DMX. Now, this is a real lighting desk. It's actually sending DMX data. If I had this lighting rig, it would operate just like the real thing. This visualizes just the template that comes with the Unreal DMX template, but I built this so that it can work with any lighting design. You can put any lighting rig in here. If I said, let's do a blue spot, submit that. And it's going to make all my spotlights blue. There we go, my spots are blue. And what I can also do is, you'll notice over here, I've got this cone. Now the cone is part of the design. Let's say that this cone was a character, a horse, something. It doesn't have to be a cone, it could be anything at all. But I could say, spot the cone. And now it's going to go and figure out where the cone is in my scene relative to the lights. It knows where the lights are, it knows where my cone is, and it triangulates the position for the pan and tilt. So it's doing that calculation as well as interpreting the prompt. So the first thing it does, it gives me these little flags to show that I understand the command. That's the direction I'm putting my lights in. And you see my spots are lighting my cone. I can also do effects. So if I go in here and I can say, wash, lights, rainbow, color, and figure 8, movement. Just be really clear, send that off. And you can see that the AI is talking back to me as well. It's giving me some feedback, so I know what it's thinking. If there's an issue or it couldn't do something, it would tell me. And there we go. I've got my lights now doing a figure of 8 in a rainbow chase. Now, this is all good. You know, I managed to create some sort of state here, and look, it's outputting to real light. So, you know, we could actually use this for real. But what we really want is some way to be able to put this into a programmer. So I've also built a console. Now, this console was actually what I built previously in one of my coffee breaks. You might have seen it from a previous YouTube video. How many coffees did it take to make a lighting desk? So in here, you can see I've got a completely blank lighting desk. I've got a patch with nothing in. I can add a GTTF file as a fixture. That's how I designed it. But all that information already exists in Unreal. We have GTTF files. We know which universe. We know which mode it's in, and we also know where it is in the scene. So what I'm going to do is go back to my Unreal project. And in my data mode, I have got, first of all, I can export all the data of my fixtures in XML file. That XML file will give us the location, the addresses, and that's basically what it's sending when it sends it to the console. So send patch to console, and now all of that data will be living inside my console here. It's all pre-patched. I've got my moving mirrors. I've got my static lights, my strobes. Now, what about palettes? Can I start to build some palettes? Let's go back into my console. I can save this as a scene. So save the scene to the console. And now I go back to my console here, and I can see that this preset has been saved. Unreal Engine look, and it's given me a default time as the time it was created, as a way of knowing what the name is until we want to change it. I can also record the effect. So all the effects that are running at the moment, which is the rainbow chase and the figure of 8, I can say that to the console, and it's now loaded all of this up, but it's actually done it according to the type of category that movement is. So there's the whole look. So that's the entire effect, rainbow chase and the movement. And then I've got one here for movement, and I've got another one here for color. So both those have been separated out and can be applied to any other light. And I can also create a queue from this. So I can save a queue to the console, give it a name and a number. So I'm going to make that Q1. I'm going to give it a name, which is, get rid of that, call it preset, and give it a 3-second fade time. save the cue, and that's put it into the lighting desk here under my playback. So I've now got my preset with 3-second fade, and that's going to play back. The only thing I need to do to make this work is switch from the programmer to my console view to clear the program acknowledge, and now to my lighting desk, active visualizer, and the output to the little lights. So I'm going to go back to my programmer because I'm going to show you one more thing. We are going to try out voice prompts. This doesn't really work very well because it's using the Windows voice interpretation tool. Probably going to work on that. So I'm going to give it the clearest, most simple instructions I can. Make a jungle scene. There you go. That was what I wanted. So hopefully what this is going to do now is go off and research what does a jungle scene look like based on the lighting that I have. It understands the light's positions. It understands their context in the scene. So it's designing a lighting look based entirely on the actual lighting fixtures. So there we go. It has decided that it's going to position the lights like this. It's chosen the positions. It has chosen the colors, and it's based it around the sort of the availability of the lights. So actually it's not used 2 of the lights here because they're currently being used to light the cone. So it understands that they're already in use because we've already assigned them in another queue. So that's our lighting desk concept. I'm going to keep working on this, but I just wanted to prove that AI lighting desks are possible and that it's a capability that any lighting desk manufacturer can build into their system. And it's not there to remove lighting designers or to remove lighting programmers. It's no different from when the effects engine came out in the first place and people managed to create crazy looking macros and effects. It's no different from the time code system that operates the lighting cues in order to make sure that they run to time. This is about making it more accessible and useful to people. And I think this is going to be great for small venues or places where learning how to use a lighting desk is a step too far for a small group. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you like my work.